a couple of things, but I can't. Hardest part about being in the real estate business, trying to find my sheet of paper with all my notes on it. So I have one coming on in single family house in Highlands Ranch next week, kind of in the Eastridge area. It's going to be 4 bedrooms, priced under $440, and I think at this point it would be the only house in Highlands Ranch at that price point with 4 bedrooms. So that'll come on live, coming soon, probably on Monday, and then coming live next Thursday. And then I've got one in Castle Pines North coming on probably the last week of June. 4 bedroom, 4 bath, about 3,000 square feet, and really close to kind of American Academy, kind of a charter school down in Castle Pines North. And we're going to come in probably about between 6:15 and 6:30.
Awesome. Awesome. Well done. All right. Other upcoming listings. You gotta get that Jeopardy music going. I know. Upcoming listings. Going once. Going twice.
Wait. I got one.
Hey, there we go, Dwayne.
My mic was on mute, so oh man. I've got one. I can't find my little paper. What the hey? Anyway, it's in Aurora. Well, it's hang on a second. Come back to me. Give me 2 minutes.
All right, we'll circle back to Dwayne here. So in the meantime, upcoming listings. Who has another upcoming listing?
Nobody, right? Oh man.
Right, I'll circle back to you, Dwayne. How about buyer needs? Who has buyer needs? Okay, so let's see if we can read that. Thank you, Andrea. That's in the chat. But does awesome.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely use some help on a couple of here, a couple of different ones. I have an immediate buyer need in Lakewood and Littleton, single family house under $425. We're through the inspection and appraisal on the sale of their house. And so they are ready to go. And even though we're contingent, we're really strong contingent because basically we're on the 1 yard line in terms of closing theirs. So if anybody has anything in Lakewood or Littleton, would love to talk to you up to 425. And then the second one is another immediate buyer need, Highlands Ranch, single family up to 525. And that one's immediate as well. And both people are ready, willing, and able, and fully pre-approved, and just ready to find the right house. And then the last one is kind of immediate as well in Strasburg, Bennett and Byers.
Nope, just lost your mic, bud.
Oh shoot, sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Strasburg, Bennett and Byers, kind of in the under 500 with some land, so kind of off of I-70 there.
But we can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
No, shoot.
I can hear him.
Were you all able to hear him?
Yeah, I could.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good. So that's just on our side.
We hear him.
Okay, awesome, good. All right, any other buyer needs? Buyer needs. Awesome. How about price improvements? Do we have any price improvements? Motivated sellers going on out there? Dwayne? Do
Yes.
We got it now? All right.
Yeah, I have it finally. So it's going to be in Centennial. It's Parkboro subdivision, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, about 2,600 square feet. Most of it's finished. Going to be probably listing it at, I believe 430, 435. It's going to go fast. Probably Tuesday. I'm under contract with him on a property in Franktown, and then. So we're looking to, of course, get a fast deal. It's going to happen. Maybe list it Monday or Tuesday. He's going to do just a little bit of work to the house, and then we'll be ready to go.
Awesome. So definitely get out there quick because that one's going to move. So Fantastic, Dwayne. Thank you. Hey, what's the address over there as well coming up?
Oh, it's going to be 5953 South Malta, Malta Way. So 5953 South Malta Way in Centennial.
All right. All right. Awesome. Awesome, my friend. Okay, do we have any other, let's go over all three. Listings, buyer needs, or price improvements before we move on?
I have a price improvement on my Peak View house. God, it's a tough one to sell. She backs coal mine. I mean, you don't hear coal mine a lot. She's got extensive decks in the back. We went from like, I think 589 to 575. We're just dying for people to get in there. I'm gonna try and pull it up on my screen. It's a great house. It's just, she has a ton of carpet and like wallpaper that's, I guess expensive wallpaper, but it's just not the in thing. That's my biggest concerns and hers for selling it. She doesn't want to go to, she won't give it away, of course. And then the guy next door, I think last year just gave his house away, which is a terrible thing for hers. But it's on 10663, I believe, Peak View Drive.
And what's our price point, Dwayne?
I believe I'm at 575. So if anybody could just go through there, do me some favors and walk through, just give me some showing so I can at least show her some activity. But I've got a couple of people online I've been talking to. They're just not going to be here for, probably about at least a month.
All right. Well, let's all jump in and help Dwayne out, and let's help each other out, right? Like that's
please.
So
yeah, get those Ignite people in there to see that house.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I need to stay busy. Get that one for me.
Get that moving. I love it. All right. What are we seeing out there? There's a lot going on in the market. What are you seeing specifically in the real estate market over the last week, over the last 2 weeks?
Major multiple offers.
Okay, let's talk about that more. So major multiple offers. Dwayne, what specifically are you seeing in the areas or house specific?
Well, I had a house up in Idaho Springs that was, it was a great house right on a little creek, listed at $395, went for $450, 7 offers. Woo. I just put a house, $450, $55,000. The agent realizes she probably listed it low, but gosh, the one I put under contract, and these are spread out. The one I put under contract in Franktown yesterday, they had 4 offers. I had to beg, plead, talk, everything, and I got the deal. So we got that one at $605, and then I just put one under contract in Conifer, listed at $575. We had to go to $605, and we beat out 5 other offers, and they had more coming in. They had a deadline of offers to come in, but they still had more coming in. One person wanted to go $618, and we got it for $605. Don't tell anybody, but but we were, 30,000 over.
Wow.
Yeah. They were fighting me on a VA loan compared to a conventional, and I can still get it done. The house is impeccable. Sitting on 2 acres, but the last, I'd say 8 houses I put under contract, I've had to deal with at least 2 offers. It's just crazy. If the news really talks to an agent who's busy, they'll tell them the scoop that this market is not slowing down.
Interesting. Okay. That's fantastic. Thank you, Dwayne. Who else is seeing that? Who else is seeing it? Bud, you're seeing it, the market? Right? Rich or Grease, you're seeing it. Cindy, you're seeing it.
Yeah,
okay,
so
let's talk about
we had my listing in Highlands Ranch. I wish I could have 5 more like it because we got it under contract pretty much under the quarantine, and that was only, right, Dwayne? It was only 7,000 above list.
Yeah.
And that deal fell through, and we got it back on the market, had even more offers, got up to 494. We were listed at 475. We ended up taking an offer at 490 just because they waived appraisal altogether, as opposed to the 494 gave us I think a 6,000, and they decided to go with what was, solid. So the appraisal was Monday, and I'm sitting back going, I don't care if it appraises. You know, I mean, it's just insane out
It
there.
is. It is. Yeah, I've got people waiving appraisals and waiving or throwing in an appraisal clause and waiving inspections.
Yeah, and you've got to tell your buyers on the buy side that you've got to prepare them for this. And most of them don't get it until they've lost a couple.
That's right.
And then it's the conversation is, how bad do you want the house? Do you want to fight for it or not? I mean, it's not on a scale of 1 to 5, do you want the house? It's, do you want to fight for the house against all, you know, all odds, or do you could care less? Otherwise, don't bother.
Bottom line is, how bad do you want the house? That's exactly it. How many deals do you want to lose until you believe what we're talking about?
Yep.
Awesome. Bud, you had your hand up just a second ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think more than ever now, I mean, I agree completely with what Dwayne and Cindy are saying, and I'm seeing it with the listings I have under or pending as well, is, you know, to find them motivated. And I mean, that just drives me every morning. It's like, you know, I want to work with motivated people, and because motivated people act, and unmotivated people give 100 reasons why they shouldn't do something. And so I want to focus my time on finding motivated sellers who are ready to go. And in spite of all the COVID-19 stuff, and also motivated buyers like the two I mentioned earlier, who are like, we desperately need to buy a house because they're selling theirs or so. And so those are the kind of people, and I would encourage all of my colleagues to just every day, my mantra or my mantra, whatever, is to find the motivated. And I don't want to waste my time, especially now when it's crazy, you know, hemming and hawing and, you know, yeah, we might sell in about 3 years. Just, you know, somebody else can have them, and God bless them. But I want people that, regardless of all the news and the noise, that want to transact real estate, and, you know, and I'm the guy for them.
So let's stay there for a second. And I massively appreciate that, Bud and Cindy and
Dwayne.
Dwayne, thank you. I'm looking right at Dwayne. And what is the message that you're saying? You know, let's go back to this. What does that call look like? What is that message that you're reaching out and talking to your clients, you're talking to your database? How does that sound, right? I love to find the motivated. Now let's dive deeper into that for a moment. What does that sound like when you're making these phone calls?
I think you could ask Mark that, because he's been pulling unmotivated buyers into motivated buyers like a rabbit out of a hat. It's been ridiculous. And so I think Mark, you should pipe up on this. He's amazing me.
Mark, the floor is yours.
Oh my gosh, put me on the spot. You know what? I wish I had a really, like I keep telling you guys, I wish I had a really great plan, but that's not what it is. It's staying in contact, staying in contact, staying in contact. And when the time is right, you strike. And don't strike until the time is right, but continue to provide value throughout. So whether that's sending them the app, whether that's setting up a new search, whether that's, you know, answering some questions they have about the market. But yeah, you can dig yourself in a hole I think Bud might've made the point. You get into it with somebody that's just wasting your time, and sometimes you just got to step away from it.
But what are you saying? Because what are you saying to people, these people that have been unmotivated? I haven't been there when you've been having these conversations either. So I want to hear what you're saying.
No, it wasn't really, there's not really an on-off switch. It's just consistently talking to people on a quarterly basis and saying, you know, the other thing that I'm probably doing a better job of in command is taking notes on the call. So I literally have the laptop open, and as I'm talking to the client, I make notes so I can go back to those notes and say, hey, the last time we talked, we said X. And it kind of brings you back, and I think there's a lot of value you create because you understand their situation. So it's not a big on-off switch. It's just consistent communication.
Yep. Write that down. Write that down. Consistent communication, finding the motivated. Bud, you had your hand up, my friend.
You know, and I think, and I'll wrap up after this, is, you know, it's just, it's like a lag in, or the lead indicator is the behaviors that you do, and then, or there's something, the lag indicator and lead indicator. I mean, I'll give you an example. You know, I've been door knocking certain neighborhoods for a couple of years, and sometimes I get back in my car, I'm like, this is a waste of time. I should just go spend money on Zillow. And I don't do that. I just stay true to my lead gen levers, which are basically open house and door knock. And literally, you know, I got a call the other day. Hey, bud, you've knocked on our door for years, and we're ready to go. And we're buy sell, which is my ideal, or we're sell and then buy, which is my ideal client. So I would have never met them if it wasn't for getting out of my car and knocking on a door. And the greatest thing about it is it didn't cost me a dime to get that client. So I just would encourage people to, like Mark said, just to continue to lead generate, and you have to just trust that you do the behaviors and the results will follow, even though you may not see them at the end of today. Or, you know, oh my gosh, I sent out all these Father's Day things or whatever, I didn't get anything. It's like you just have to trust that it will come back to you, and just keep persevering. And yeah, I don't know any other way to sort of explain it, but it's great once in a blue moon when the phone rings, and you know, it's like, hey, you probably don't remember us, but you've knocked on our door for years and you're our guy.
Hey, Bud, are you knocking doors yet again?
No, I'm not. No, absolutely not. No, I was on Damien's call last week. And listen, I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not open housing. And those, you know, so I'm having to find completely new ways to reach out to people without being at their door front or putting my open house signs all over Highlands Ranch. So, you know, through food drives, through other things, but, you know, just through CARES calls. So yeah, to answer your question, Cindy, I'm not. And, but this was a door knock that happened in the last couple of years that now all of a sudden is, you know, about $1.1 million of going to be closed volume that I didn't have to pay for that lead other than my time.
So what I'm hearing, and it seems to be a continual message, and I'm going to tie this in and we'll put a bow on this. Action steps, right? Being sticky. If you look at your business, your database, and you gave it a rating from 1 to 10, right? 1 being burn the whole thing down, 10 being the most amazing business you've ever had. What is that number? And then if it's a 6, how do we get to a 7, right? Let's focus in on those pieces, because what that ties into is models and systems. And that's really what we're talking about here, is having a model and a system around lead generation, having a model and a system around being sticky. And one of the best parts about this is that we have an incredible series going on right now that is all about models and systems. It's all about models and systems. So Renee, let's take 3 minutes, and we're going to be pretty close on time here before we have our guest coming on, PJ Stratford, who is coached by Gary Keller. She is my personal coach, and she is massively amped up to rock your world today. So before we go there, Renee, models and systems, why do these guys need to be in MREA? I know, you know, let's talk about it.
You know, I was just thinking while I was listening to everybody talk, this is a lot of what we are talking about, is what you are asking, Patrick, is what we are diving very deep into in the MREA series. And maybe Jim Brown can speak up a little bit, because we kind of focused on, and we'll get much deeper with everybody that is on the call as to how to make your business and your business model through these 4 models what you want it to be in a month, in a year, in 2 or 3 or 5 years, and depending on what you know and what you where you want to go futuristically. I will challenge you all to this. I think maybe Dwayne said it, or it was a collaboration of what Cindy and Bud and Dwayne were saying, is the market is hot. Do you want them to just lose a house and that's when they feel the pain of how bad do you want this house? Do you want to make an offer on it? Let the market speak for itself. I will challenge you. Each of you should have a minimum of 10 people, if not 20, if not 25, on an MLS RE Colorado alert in their own neighborhood and in where their dream neighborhood is.
Time. Hold on. Write that down. Everyone write that down. That was awesome. Keep going. That was beautiful.
Repeat it so I can write.
So in RE Colorado, have people, your top people. We are in the process of categorizing our database in MREA. And those people need to be on an alert in RE Colorado. So let the market speak for itself. My care calls now are the client or the person in my database, not necessarily a client, saying, wow, I'm seeing things go under contract really fast. And I'm like, yeah, let's watch this one and see what it actually sells at, because you know when it—
The business of real estate is changing rapidly.
All right, Will, Fritz here. So when, sorry, you're not on mute, Will. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'll talk about that, William. You're right. So when it goes under contract really fast, the person says it, and we don't have to. And then it's not as difficult of a situation when you take them out in your car and you say, okay, what do you want to offer right now? And they say, what do I need to offer to be able to make this work? That is a small little part of what we are talking about in MREA. I promise you, you will get not a little out of it. You'll get a lot out of it, and you'll get a lot out of it for you specifically, what your business is and what you want to do in your business. William had written in the chat, that's what Command Monthly Smart Plans are built for. So our IDX will and does connect to Command. I like seeing in RE Colorado all of the different alerts that are in there, and I use Command and RE Colorado and send out cards as a database function for me personally. And you'll get those kind of tips and tricks when you join us tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Awesome. So be there tomorrow. What's the cost on that, Renee?
Yeah, you're going to pay me.
Yes, I am. I owe you like 5 years of my life, I think. And you know what the coolest thing is? How many of us, myself included, right, want to know Command at a deeper level? How many of us want that? Did you know that MREA and Command are bridged? So everything that's going on in Command is built around the 4 models of real estate that is being highlighted in MREA. If you want to know Command on a deeper level, if you want to understand these models and systems, be in the class, right? Renee's gracious not to charge us. She could absolutely be charging right now. So thank you. And I know I have to give up Haven for a couple years, but that's, we'll work it out. And jump in there, right? Give it a shot. Go in there, and you know what? If it's not valuable to you, if it's not valuable, you jump in there and you decide, hey, you know what? I didn't gain any value today. Renee and I want to know this, right? Because then we're gonna say, hey, how can we make this even better than it is now? So part of this, when we talk about leverage, when we talk about technology, saving time, building our businesses, all of these systems come together, and it creates a unity and a harmony in your business. And that's what all of this is about. So, Deb, any comments on that here?
Well, if you're in that class and you're not getting anything out of it, then don't sleep through it.
Did we hear it right? Like, be ready, be engaged,
yeah.
Right? Be engaged, be ready to take notes. Have conversations. It's not just a book club. In fact, I think saying it's a book club is taking away massive value out of it. It's not just a book club. It's not snorkeling. It's going scuba diving. We're going deep. So then that way you can implement it in your business today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next quarter, today. Right?
Yeah, and then go back and do it again and again.
Beautiful. All right.
11:31.
11:31. Let's see. Do we have PJ jumping on here? Do you answer this while I keep going? All right. So PJ's calling right now, so she's going to jump on here in just a minute. Let's also talk about a couple while we're getting PJ on. Let's talk about a couple other classes that are coming up that are designed to give you value. So one of these is Beyond COVID. Right, it's a 3-part series. We're going to do it today. It's going to start at 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock. Yours truly is going to be running the class. Here's the reason why. Throughout conversations with our top agents, even with PC, with our leadership team, what has came out has been, what do we do right now? What are our action steps we take right now? How do we build this business up so it's sustainable and it insulates against whatever goes on out there? So today what we're going to talk about between 1 and 2 p.m. is personally, what is our life need? What could our life look like, right? Because if we're right inside internally, then our message becomes even more powerful externally. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. Next week, we're going to dive into the business. It's a 3-part series. Then the following week, we're going to talk about models and systems and how you put a bow on the whole thing and tie it together. Just like in Atomic Habits, it's not about the goal, it's about the model and the systems that you use to achieve that goal.
She had the wrong link.
So we got her all set up now?
She'll be on in just a minute.
Awesome. So PJ will be jumping on in just a minute. The other one is, how many of us are engaged in Jake's tape right now? Should be. Awesome. Every hand should go up. And here's the reason why. Jake is he's a bold coach that coaches bold coaches. He also is getting direct information coming down from not just Gary Keller, but also from regional directors, as well as John Prescott, who runs the entire Bold coaching program. So if you think there's value there, jump onto Jake's tape, because Jake and I have been masterminding all week about this. He is ready to knock your socks off this Friday. So make sure you're on there. PJ Stratford, it is so incredible to see you on here. First of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I know how incredibly valuable your time is. And, just to give a little history here, PJ, so you've been a MAPS coach for how long?
Oh my God, I'm entering my 15th year. I think I'm the longest standing MAPS coach in MAPS now.
That's amazing. And how many clients do you have? Like, let's just put this into perspective for a second, because I want everyone to understand the time that PJ is committing to you.
81.
81 coaching clients, 30-minute sessions on average each time, correct?
Every week, 30 minutes. I start my first call at 5 a.m.
Awesome.
On the East Coast. What are you guys doing at 5 a.m.?
Well, this morning, you and I were going back and forth. So
I can tell you, your team leader was awake because he was texting me.
True story.
Yeah, true story.
So, PJ, you've had the opportunity to really get to know Gary Keller and to know him, as a coach, as a friend. What are you hearing and seeing out there? And then we'll gravitate our way right into those top 20 tips.
Ever since I first met Gary, he has been the same. He's never been different. He's never changed. I've never had a moment or an opportunity to say, yeah, that guy's all wet, or he's not telling the truth. I looked at other companies when I was early in the company, like the first 10 years. And I got to tell you, I'm a Gary fan. He's ahead of the curve. And if you just do what he tells you to do, you're going to have a phenomenal business. And you remember when the MREA book came out? How many of you remember that when the MREA book came out? Yeah, we were at family reunion. I don't remember where, but we got the book, right? Well, the following week, I had an agent join my company, brand new agent. Her name was Cynthia Worley. And Patrick, she walked into my office and she said, I can't come to training except on Tuesday and Thursday for 2 hours. I'm a mom with 4 kids. My husband has a brain tumor. I'm the only one that can take care of him. But if you tell me what to do, I'll do it. If you give me homework, I'll do it. She said, would you hire me? And I said, yes. I gave her the MREA book. We followed the book completely. 3 years and 4 months later, she was the #1 solo agent in all of KW with 2.2 million in income.
Wow.
Is that not amazing? So the book works, Gary works. His whole focus and whole goal is on helping agents have great lives and increase their income so they can do the things they want to do in life.
I love that.
So I got to tell you, I'm a huge Gary fan.
So what are you seeing then with our current environment? I know you're in Arizona and in Phoenix,
Yeah.
and you know we're in Denver, and you know there's different things going on all over the place, right? Depending on the state or the location. So how are you seeing the company pivot? How are you seeing your coaching clients pivot?
Well, everybody's doubling down. You know, the basics are the basics of the business, no matter what market you're in. You're either going to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced or marketing based and prospecting enhanced. No matter what, we all have to do the dull and boring thing of lead generation. Lead generation isn't, you know, most people don't go, yippee, I'm going to call. I'm going to call until I get an appointment today. Most people don't do that. But if you can get over yourself and learn to run your business like a business, generate the leads. Right now we're saying double down. You know, the standard is 2 hours a day of lead gen, which includes doing your research, sending emails, making phone calls, sending texts, following up. It includes all of those things. If you pick up, let me grab my shift book. So here's my little shift book with all my little notes and stuff. If you go to page 79 of shift, it gives you the anatomy of what lead generation is. So a lot of people think that lead gen is spending 2 hours on the phone. It's not. It's all of the things that encompass generating business for you. It's the lead generation, it's the appointment setting, it's the follow-up, it's constant communication. So double down, Patrick, double down on your lead gen. If you were doing 2 hours, do 4. People are buying and selling homes. You know, I coach a lot of different market centers, and across the country, everybody was freaking out when COVID hit, thinking, you know, market centers were tightening up their belt, letting go of extra expenses, really, you know, slimlining their expenses. And we really prepared for a downturn. We've had a downturn, but guys, it hasn't been as big comparatively across the country as we expected. People are still buying and selling real estate. The question is, are they doing it with you? You know, I had in the last economic downturn, 2007 and 8, I had signs posted all over my market center. The market is the market. Production is a choice.
Could you repeat that, PJ? And everyone, would you please write that down?
The market is the market. Production is a choice.
I love
so sometimes we have to do things a little bit differently, but the business is out there.
Awesome.
So don't, you know, just do the basics. Follow up, follow up, follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. I can tell you over the years, almost 15 years I've been a coach. Guys, follow up is key. Just pick up the phone. Even if you haven't talked to a person in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, when you make that call and just say, hey, I'm just calling to check on you. You've been on my mind. They'll appreciate it and they'll remember you. Are you ever like driving home from work or going someplace on a Saturday morning and somebody pops into your head? When they do, when that happens, pick up the phone and call them. There's a message in there. For me, I'm a Christian. I hope it doesn't offend anybody, but I know that's God and the Holy Spirit telling me that that person needs me. And I cannot tell you how many listings I've gotten from that, how many buyers I've gotten, how many agents I've saved, you know, because I just listen to what's going on around me and listen to myself. God's giving you a message. Your people need you. They're scared, they're frightened. They need somebody who can help guide them through the process because they still have to sell and move.
That's powerful. I literally got goosebumps on that one, so thank you. Yeah, please write these down. This is massively powerful. So PJ, what is Gary saying? What is Gary saying to his top agents, and what are some of these Gary's tips that he has on how to tackle this market we have today?
I have gathered. I have my spiral notebook. Does everybody do the spiral notebook? Gary's method of keeping notes. You can't see it because of my virtual background, but I have a 69-cent. Oh, Dale has one. She's got hers. Yeah, that's it. I got one too. And so I started like just keeping notes that I could pass on to my clients. So I have 20 things that Gary said and the top agents have said, that there's the top 100 that I wrote down. And if you want them, I'll give them to you one by one.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Number 1, calm down and be smart. Calm down and be smart. Gary says your motivation is determined by the market, by the buyers, by your sellers, by the economy. It's the message that changes, not the lead generation. Just because all this stuff is going on doesn't mean we stop doing what we need to do. We have to change our message, but the lead generation still goes on. Number 2, may I know we have only 15 minutes left. Do I have your permission to go a little fast?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And then I'll send my sketchy notes. I'll send them to Patrick and he can send them out to you if you like.
Awesome.
So if you have any questions, raise your hand and let's answer them. But number 2, don't change what you're doing. Keep doing the right things and do more of it. We're working 2 to 3 hours more per day currently. He says, make sure that you double down on your lead gen. Number 3, always prepare for the market that's coming, not the market you're in. You need to be thinking ahead about what the opportunity is. Are we headed into a short sale market, an REO market? For sale by owners, expires? What is the market we're headed to? You all should get together and just grab a cup of coffee, sit on a Zoom call and brainstorm what is happening in our economy based on history. Where do we think it's going? What should we be looking at in education to prepare ourselves? The last economic downturn, there was an agent, I was coaching agents at the time, now I coach leadership. But she was an education junkie, and it was about 4 months before the recession hit. And she said, I want to learn how to do short sales. Well, guess what? 4 months later, guess who was getting all the short sale business and all the listings? She was. She went from 7 transactions a year to 263 that first year.
Wow.
Because she was prepared, she looked forward. So prepare for the market that's coming. Gary says the best gains come out of a recession. When it's a downturn, it's much easier right now for you to gain your unfair share of the market than it is when the market's hot and all the agents are in the market going after the same dollars you're going after. Right now, you've got people jumping out of the business or sitting back because COVID, and they're at companies that haven't prepared them, that haven't been teaching them, that haven't been talking to them. So they're just kind of sitting back, and they go on a listing appointment and the seller says, gee, you know, I think I should wait. And they go, okay, let me come back in August, because they don't know how to handle the objections. This is your opportunity to double your database and double your relationships. Number 4, double down on the next opportunity. We've talked a little bit about it. He says the past is a canceled check and the future is a promissory note. Number 5, change is inevitable. Participation is optional. Remember, the market is the market. Production is a choice. And then he said, are you a jack of all trades, masters of none? Millionaires are masters of one. He said, do you have a lead generation problem or a conversion problem? So an agent walked up to him and said, Gary, how do I get to grossing $1 million? And Gary says, well, do you have enough leads? He said, oh yeah, I got a ton of leads. Gary said, then you have a conversion problem. So you either have a lead generation problem or a conversion problem. If you look at where you want to go, if you have enough leads to get there, start building your skill in converting those leads to a contract. And if your conversion skills are good, you don't have enough leads, double down on getting your leads. Okay. He says, we want to avoid you having regret because you didn't maximize your opportunity. It's not complicated if you don't want to have regret. Everybody makes it so complicated. Never stop doing the basics. Number 10 is, he says, control the space you occupy. Plan on having a great career, not just a great year. Take a stand for what you want, focus. What you focus on expands, and watch your business grow. He says, how big is your command database is number 11. How big is your command database? Are you growing it every day? Is the consumer app in the hands of your family? So my daughter and her husband just bought a brand new home a couple years ago. They were here on Saturday and they were saying, Mom, you should move into our neighborhood. That way the grandkids could come over and hang out after school, which would be my joy. But they live about 25 minutes from me. And I said, well, how do you know what's for sale in your neighborhood? She says, look, it's right here on my app. She had Zillow. Zillow! My daughter was looking at Zillow. I went, holy cow, what is that? Throw it out. And I gave her my app. But see, I remembered, right? I didn't give the app to my family. Get your app in the hands of everybody you know and make sure they use it and they're tied to you forever. He said the number 12, the key to big success is to get smaller. Run a tight ship. Get rid of the technology you're not using. Embrace command. I know command isn't perfect. There's a glitch here and a glitch there. But by the next 90 days, it's going to be just singing a great tune. Dig into command. Lower your expenses. Don't spend money where you don't need to. Number 13, the way to big success is to find something you dominate. Get a little smaller. Pick an area, a street, a neighborhood, a subdivision. Put your flag in the ground. Build there, and then become the expert in that area, and then branch out. Number 14, he says, we're in a seller's market right now. Put more energy around getting those listings or you will underperform. If you are underperforming right now, if you're not where you want to be, don't waste time. Get on it. Put pressure on your business to be a listing-based business. Remember, every listing will bring you 1 to 2 serious buyers. if you market it correctly. Be listing agents, master listings, practice your listing presentation, practice it in person, practice it online, practice your objection handlers, do script and role play practice every day. Role play and script practice is the breakfast of champions. All the years I've been in KW, 22 years, it's never been any different. Patrick and I talk about lead generation almost every call we have. Number 15, is your business marketing based or prospecting enhanced? We talked a little bit about that. Okay, you need a healthy balance between marketing and prospecting. Marketing skills are faster and easier when you're marketing. Prospecting takes you to do it. But when you're marketing, it takes 5 to 6 months from the time you get the lead to the actual listing on average. And in good times, we naturally do more marketing because it's faster. And as it grows, you want to do more. However, when the marketing fails to work, it's like the light switch went off. And then you got to pick up the phone. Top agent Brady Sandoval in Palm Springs on number 16 says, top agents know it's not about winning the transaction, but keeping the relationship. He uses 3 G's, grateful for, goals, and grit. Grateful for, goals, and grit. He said, give your clients the Ritz-Carlton experience. He also says, do the 5x5 plan. And he said this on a panel a couple of months ago. I heard him. And then he said it in masterminds too. He was on a panel. He said, do the 5x5. 5 lifeline calls to like your A+ clients. 5 calls to past customers. 5 calls to people in your sphere of influence. 5 calls to local co-op agents. And 5 calls to out-of-area agents every single day. And somebody asked him, Brady, why are you calling agents? He said, well, their brokers aren't calling them. So it's a way to show them I care, communicate with them about the market or a listing or an opportunity or coming to Keller Williams and recruit. So he's very focused on that. Number 18, who's the director of happiness for your business? What do your customers want you to do more of? And what do they want you to do less of? Number 19, this is something Patrick and I discuss quite frequently. Look for ways to become more effective instead of always looking for efficiency. You know, Patrick often asks me, he said, how can I make the biggest impact for the agents in my market center today? What, PJ, if there were one thing I could do, what would it be? Number 20, if your clients can't repeat your standards, then you have too many. Narrow it down to what really matters and have space in between. Be strong, be shrewd, and control the space you're in. So I don't know if any of those really resonate with you guys, but it did with me because Gary's been saying the same thing all along. He's never changed. Never stop doing the basics, lead generate every single day. Put the KW, put his energy plan into place so you're done by noon every day and you can go out and show property or spend time with your family, whatever it is you want to do. Somebody, Drea, was that a cat? It was a black cat. Oh, I'm so glad it's not Halloween. Any comments about anything? I've got 5 minutes left here. Any comments? Questions? Talk to me. How's your market? How are you guys doing personally? You've been having, it's a hard time in Colorado. Yeah? Tough? How's your business?
Yeah, the business is starting to pick up, and I'm really glad that you're going to send the notes because I could not write that fast at
Yeah,
all.
I'm happy.
There's so many gems that you gave us. I want to have those. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's play a game. Somebody play with me and tell me, what's your average sales price?
$450.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay. And now somebody's going to have to get specific. How many transactions did you do last year? Anybody, just pick a number and pretend like you're a recruit. How many transactions?
12.
You did 12. Okay. And where did those 12 come from? How many came from your sphere?
11.
11. Okay. And how many people in your database?
200.
200.
I'm making
Okay.
this up.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said I'm making this up as I go along.
That's okay. You're pretty right on. That's pretty average. Those 200 people in your database should have generated 33 transactions. They generated 11, leaving you 22 transactions you left on the table. 22 transactions times an average sales price of $450,000 is 9.9 million at a 2.5%. Hold on, let me turn off the phone. Commission. Okay, wait a minute.
Here it'd be 3.
Okay, I just went low. So let me back up because I hit the wrong button and my calculator went crazy. So 22 transactions times 450,000. You know, I'd like to tell you that it's the calculator that's the problem, but it's not. Okay, that's 9.9 million times a 3% commission. That's $297,000 this person left on the table. And all you have to do is follow the MREA lead generation model. Get people into your database, connect them to a smart plan, communicate with them on the phone once a quarter. The numbers are there, proven, 20 years of the MREA, and the numbers still work.
So how long, if you are a new agent, I'm not, but I'm asking because we have a lot on here. How long should it take for you to be communicating with that database to get where you, like if you had 200 people you knew and you plugged them in right away and you started doing this, how long should it take you by following the MRA to get where you're getting those 33 transactions?
I can't answer that question. I don't know the answer to that. Because then I think it's different for everybody. But if you're consistently generating a lead, you put 200 people into your database and you're feeding your database every day, adding 2 to 3 people a day, or even 1 person a day, and you're working it, you should have a deal within 30 days. I mean, I've seen agents do that over and over and over. It's not, you know, everybody wants to make it so complicated. It's not rocket science. It's just doing the lead gen, following up, communicating, let people know you care. Asking them, say, hey, if you know anybody who needs my help, just give me a shout. I'm here for you. It's pretty, I think it's pretty simple. We just try and make it more complicated because we think in order to make the kind of money we want to make that it should be complicated. But any one of you can make $1 million a year. Any one of you can make $500,000, especially with the $450,000 average sales price. I think I might be in the wrong business. I might be on the wrong end of it. I need to move to Colorado, join your office, and kick some royal butt.
Done, PJ. Done deal. I already got the office ready.
Hey, to be in business with you would be amazing. I would love that.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, guys, I have to go because I've got a call waiting. So I hope that's okay. And thanks for inviting
Let's give PJ a big round of applause.
I hope you got
Thank
something you can use.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and we'll be in touch, and I'll make sure that we send out that top 20 list. So,
all right, I'll make sure
really
to get
appreciate
it to you. Okay,
all
take
right.
care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, it is 12 o'clock, so real quickly here, let's just take 2 minutes, 120 seconds. What were some ahas?
I think one of her things, I mean, it keeps going back to routine, staying processed on something consistently, but even her little breakfast for champions, it's that every morning, script practice and role play, script practice and role play. 98% of us don't do it. And I say us because even I don't do it every day like I should. So that, I mean, you want to have these conversations where you're truly getting to the point of how to help the person out across the table. You got to know what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. And when she said these listing agents are going in there and they say, oh, I don't know, maybe now's not a good time because of COVID. And her answer is, well, let's wait till August. What? No, there's so much more. And if we don't do the simple things every day, we're not doing those people across the table any justice in the conversations we have with them.
Yep. Love that. And Andrea, I love your comment on the chat. Thank you. That's awesome. What's another one? What's another aha?
Hey, I'm wondering if anybody heard her say MREA anything. I'm just curious.
What's
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a reason why we're pushing this. I'm going to say it again. There's a reason why we're pushing this. It's to protect your businesses and protect your family and to grow it incredibly through models and systems. That PJ doesn't even know we're doing an MREA class.
What?
She doesn't even know that. That was just came off because that's the coach. And that's coming from Gary. If Gary's saying it and the #1 coach in MAPS coaching is saying it, I'm listening. So be in class, please. Deb?
Yeah, I love that. The market is the market. Production is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be a t-shirt. We're a company of t-shirts. That needs to be a t-shirt, front and back.
Hey, I think we have a t-shirt coming out with KW executives on the front and on the back. The market is the market. Production is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I'd wear that.
Yeah.
Probably more than once a week.
William, you wear any t-shirt.
All right, let's do one more.
I don't wear my kids' t-shirts.
I like to be effective, learn to be effective beyond being efficient. I mean, we need to be efficient, but if we're not being effective, efficiency doesn't do us any good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. All right. With that, I think that puts a bow on it for this week. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being on the call. For those who were not on the call, for those of us who have friends that were not on the call that within our market center or outside the market center, please do me a favor and reach out to them. Let them know why you were on the call. Renee and I have chatted back and forth about weekly team meetings, and we're one of the only market centers in Colorado, not just in Denver, that does team meetings every single week. And we do that for you. We really do. We do it for you. So then that way, no matter what happens in the market, you have one step ahead of it. And we can pivot quickly. So please let's work on getting our attendance back up to 50, 60, 70 on team meeting calls. Let's really pour into each other. Take action. Take action, take action. With that, love you guys. Have a fantastic week and weekend. Jump on these classes, please. They're there to build your business and to create an incredible life for you. So we'll talk to you later.
Bye.